You are going to listen to me right now. Let go of my face. Get off me!
Let me tell you about the day a young hotshot lost everything he thought he owned, just because he couldn't see past an old man's jacket. No, really, picture this. A smack rings out across the biggest electronics store in town. I'm talking a slap so loud, even the TV wall skipped a beat. And who's on the receiving end? Not some troublemaker, not some kid messing around, but a gray-haired man, must have been pushing 70, knocked backward so hard his glasses slid across the shiny floor like a little boat in a storm. People froze. Some laughed, some gasped, but every single person's phone came out, just like that, because nothing says welcome to modern life like filming someone else's pain. Don't touch the displays again, old beggar, the salesman barked, all puffed up like he was the king of the showroom or something. The old man grabbed the counter to steady himself, didn't say a word, just breathed hard, like he was holding something back. And here's the part nobody knew. In the next 5 minutes, that young salesman would lose more than his job. He was about to lose his pride, maybe even his sense of who he was. And you know what's wild? The old man never said a single word back. He just knelt down, picked up his glasses, brushed them off, and walked out slow, one step at a time, head still high. That wasn't the moment he got humiliated. That was the moment he started winning. His name was Harvey Dalton, 67, used to fix engines out in Amarillo, Texas, 40 years turning wrenches, hands stained by oil, ears trained to pick up the song of a dying machine. The kind of guy who could hear a problem before you could smell it. Never yelled, never begged for anyone's respect. That day, Harvey walked in a Tech World superstore, the fanciest, brightest, most overwhelming place you could imagine. Not for himself, no. He was there to get a laptop for his granddaughter. The girl had just landed a scholarship, first in the family to make it to college, but couldn't afford the tools she needed. But as soon as Harvey stepped inside, you could feel it. People looking him up and down, old brown jacket, denim jeans, dusty boots. He didn't fit. The showroom was all glass and chrome, fancy lights, that chemical smell of new electronics. Harvey looked like he'd wandered in from a different decade. He walked over to the shiniest, most expensive laptop there, the Titan X. Thing looked like it could launch rockets. He reached out, touched the keys just to see. That was all it took. Hey, don't touch that, someone snapped. Before Harvey could even turn around, smack. The sales guy's hand hit his face hard. Some folks laughed, some couldn't believe it, and a few started filming. Harvey swayed, holding his cheek. His ears rang, his vision went blurry. The salesman, all smug, leaned in close. This is not a museum, old man. You want to look at stuff? Go watch YouTube on your busted phone. And then, as if that wasn't enough, another guy chimed in. He probably just came in for the free Wi-Fi. The laughter echoed, cold and sharp. Harvey didn't bite back, didn't even look them in the eye. You know, sometimes dignity is so loud, you don't have to say a word. He just picked up his glasses, dusted them off, and walked straight out the door. But here's where it gets good. He didn't go home. Instead, he crossed the street to this little shop I bet most people never noticed. Bright Bite Computers. The sign was peeling, and the windows needed a wash, but the place glowed with this warm, yellow light. Felt human in there. At the counter, a young guy, maybe 20, looked up and gave Harvey a real smile, the kind that starts in your eyes, not your mouth. "Good afternoon, sir," the kid said like he meant it. "How can I help you today?" No judgment, just curiosity. Harvey pointed at a modest-looking laptop on the table. "Is this any good for college?" he asked, kind of shy. The kid nodded. "Yes, sir, it's perfect for students. Reliable, fast. Here, want to try it out?" No sales pitch, no condescension. Just an honest answer. Harvey sat down, ran his fingers over the keys. The laptop hummed to life. Nothing fancy, just worked. The kid hung around, answered every question, didn't get impatient once. After nearly an hour, he asked, "So would you like to buy it, sir?" Harvey paused, glanced around the cramped little shop. You could tell he was thinking hard. "You treated me like a human being," he finally said. "That means something." The kid blushed, shrugged like it was nothing. Harvey cleared his throat. "I came here to buy one laptop." The kid nodded. business as usual. But after how people treated me across the street, Harvey's voice got a little rougher, a little steelier. I'll take 12 laptops, all in cash. The kid's eyes went wide. 12. Harvey nodded, smiling now. For my granddaughter, and for 11 other kids at her school who can't afford one. You earned this. Then he reached into his jacket and pulled out an envelope thick with bills. More money than that kid had probably seen in his whole life. 2 hours later, Bright Bite was out of laptops, the shop's shelves bare as bones. Across the street, that hotshot salesman watched through the glass, face drained of color, mouth hanging open. He must have felt the world tilting under his feet. Just then his boss came storming out, furious, red in the face. Do you know who that man was? He owns half the garages in Amarillo. He's famous for charity. You slapped a millionaire, you idiot. The salesman just stood there, shaking, realizing what he'd really lost. Next morning, he was gone. Fired. And all those fancy words and shiny shoes couldn't buy him a second chance. Funny thing is, respect costs nothing. Arrogance? That'll bankrupt you. You see a man's jacket, his boots, the lines on his hands, and you think you know his story. But you don't know where he's been, who he's loved, what he's sacrificed. Harvey Dalton didn't need to raise his voice, didn't need revenge. He let his actions do the talking. He left a dozen kids with bright futures and a young salesman with a lesson he'd never forget. So, tell me, what would you have done if you'd been in Harvey's boots? Or behind that counter? Do you believe respect is something earned or something owed, no matter what? Yeah, life has a funny way of teaching us about justice, and sometimes the quietest folks end up shouting the loudest when it counts. Drop your thoughts below. Tell me, have you ever been judged for how you look or stood up for someone who was? Where do you draw the line between right and wrong, respect and pride? Share your stories, your lessons. Maybe together, we'll figure out what real justice looks like.